Hello, and welcome back to the Cake and Batter podcast. My name is Cole.
And I'm Jake.
And today we are going to be talking about the movie Tucker and Dale versus
Evil!
Sorry this is coming a little bit late.
We're just stupid and we slacked on this.
Yeah.
We won't lie.
Yeah, we kind of just slacked on this one, but we'll try to keep a semi-decent...
Yeah, we'll try and get back
going.
from the once in a while cast to the weekly cast.
Yeah, hopefully we can figure that out.
We'll try.
Anyways.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
So, it's a movie. I like it.
It's a movie. What did you think of this movie?
Thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
This was an interesting movie for me. This was our first movie since I Am Mother and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that we watched together that both of us didn't see first.
Yeah.
Normally we're watching movies that I have seen.
Well, I mean, Train to Busan was one that we haven't
Oh
seen.
yeah, Train to Busan too. Yeah, you're right. Well, whatever. So it was nice. It was nice to watch a movie with you that I haven't seen. That was good.
Yeah.
That was good, and we could finish.
Yeah.
This is a movie that's a movie. I loved it. I loved this movie. It wasn't bad, but it had that quality to it, you know, where like you can't find something wrong with it because it's just so cute. It's a cute movie, is what it is.
I feel like the subject matter of the movie isn't very.
Oh no, the subject matter is not cute, but the idea is cute, right? It's just a slapstick comedy that you just
it's like a slapstick horror comedy.
You sit down and throw it on. So for people, if you haven't seen it, it's about basically these two hillbillies, Tucker and Dale, and they go out in the woods to their cabin. That they're gonna fix up their cabin. But on the way, they see there are also these, stereotypical horror teens. They're college kids. And they're going up there to
do normal
horror,
college kid shit, like, drinking and skinny dipping and doing the hanky-panky with each other.
Exactly. And then one of the girls, when she's skinny dipping, she falls on a rock, she hits her head, and she falls into the water. And
well, that was only because by happenstance, Tucker and Dale were fishing.
Yes.
Nearby, and one of them sneezed or yelled or called out, and
They're talking too loud. They were talking too loud.
Yeah, they were talking
too
loud, and she sees them, and she slips and falls and bonks her head.
And then she doesn't come up, and Dale sees it, so Dale goes and saves her. He jumps in the water and saves her. And then the kids see it, and they think that Tucker and Dale are kidnapping the girl.
Because it's like because they were talking about like this, there was like an event that happened where one of the characters, you don't find out until later, but like there was an event that happened 20 years ago where where a bunch of college kids got killed by crazy hillbillies.
Yeah.
And they think that that's happening to them. When in reality, Tucker and Dale are just two normal dudes.
Two real nice dudes.
Who just don't want to kill anybody.
And so then throughout the movie, basically these college kids, they just try and, kill Tucker and Dale and get their friend back. But Tucker and Dale are just
thinking they're
thinking that they're trying to kill themselves all over their lawn.
Well, because what happens is like they don't know that the kids think that they're killers. So they're kind of like just trying to do their thing. And usually what happens is they're like trying to chase them like, hey, what are you doing? Where are you going? Why are you running from us? And one of them will accidentally kill themselves in a way. Like, and for instance, one of the kids is running in the forest and he like accidentally runs into this just sharp piece of wood and impales himself. And then later in the movie, after the girl wakes up, which I can't remember her name for some reason.
I can't either.
But after the girl wakes up and she kind of starts hanging out with Dale, because the movie is more or less about Dale. It's not really about Tucker.
Yeah.
Tucker is a supporting character, even though the names are Tucker and Dale.
And Dale loves his board games.
Dale does love his board games. But like Dale the movie's more about Dale trying to get over his insecurities about who he is as a person.
And to woo this girl eventually, because he has such a crush on her.
Yeah, because like Dale thinks that he's just straight up trailer trash and nobody will love him and all that. And Tucker's kind of supportive, but he's supportive in a dickish sort of way, you know?
I mean, he's inadvertently mean to him. Like, he means well.
He means well, but he's inadvertently.
Yeah, you know. He says things that he thinks are nice.
But they don't come out that way.
Right.
Like, but in the movie, after the girl wakes up and Dale kind of just hangs out with her for a bit and kind of learns, like, you know, that she realizes that they're not crazy hillbillies. They're just these two guys that bought this really shitty cabin in the middle of the woods that looks exactly like the Evil Dead house.
Yeah,
mind you.
I mean, it is Tucker and Dale versus evil.
Yeah, but there really isn't much evil. Because it's like,
yeah.
well, I mean, yeah, I guess you could say one of the college kids is quote-unquote evil. But when you say evil in the context of, like, horror films, evil is like a malevolent presence.
Right,
you know?
some kind of entity,
yeah,
right?
like the Deadites, or like, you know, the thing that follows you and it follows, or like Chucky, or something like that.
But this movie was just, you know, the movie set itself up in the opening scene to be some sort of evil thing, but then they never addressed it the rest of the film. Because if you remember, it opens up with like the news reporter at the cabin.
Oh yeah,
after it had burned down.
Maybe like.
And then nothing ever came of that after.
I don't think she was at the cabin. She was at the. What's it called?
The warehouse.
The lumber mill where it all ended. And I guess if you think about it, maybe it was the kid. That was the thing that got him.
I think it was the kid, but like they never addressed it later.
It sounds like
never got to
it's a kind of scene that would only be set up for a sequel, like a end of the credits kind of thing, you know?
Right, but it's right in the beginning of the film.
but it's in the beginning, which is kind of strange.
And there was supposed to be a sequel, but they never did it, so
yeah,
they couldn't get the script.
But anyways, back to the topic at hand. So like you find out that the girl seems like this very, what is it? She seems like a very pish posh, you know, preppy chick.
Yeah.
But then you find out that she actually like used to grow up on a farm and stuff like that. So she's used to the shit that Tucker and Dale are doing, and she offers to help.
Yeah.
So they're digging the hole for an outhouse, and all the kids stumble up on it, and they think that
they're like, oh my god, he's making her dig her own grave.
And they all plan on, like, you know,
attacking them at once.
So like what happens is one of the guys attacks with this, like, I think he attacks with like a spear almost.
Yeah, they make a spear.
They make a spear out of the wood, and he attacks with the spear, but he like trips and then he falls, and he falls on it, and he impales himself, and he slides down, and he's like right on top of Dale. Well, the entire time before this all happens, Dale spins around holding a shovel and bonks the girl on the head, knocking her out so she doesn't see any of this.
But also in that same scene, another guy attacks with another spear, and he just trips and he jumps right into the wood chipper.
Well, yeah, and like I don't even think like Tucker's throwing stuff into a wood chipper and all that.
Yeah. And
he turns around and this kid starts charging at him with he was a pocket knife he had. He had a pocket knife.
Oh yeah, you're right.
He had a little Swiss Army knife, and he starts running at Tucker, and he goes to tackle him, but Tucker turns away at the last second to grab something. And the kid just dives head first right into a wood chipper. And Tucker turns around and he goes, what the hell? And the guy is like grinding up and he's trying to pull him out. And all the kids are looking at him. It looks like he's trying to push him in. And the whole time all these kids are freaking out because they have no idea what the hell's... They think that they're being killed by these guys when it was like none of this even happened. It's all just... The whole movie is a bunch of like... It's a bunch of accidents.
Yeah.
It's I think the only thing that I could compare it to is if it was like, I mean, not entirely, but it's almost like the stupid, silly, gory type deaths that you would find in like a Final Destination movie.
Yeah, except it was done for laughs instead of
for
scares.
scares.
Right?
And I guess like on the topic of Final Destination, I feel like as the movies go on, it's less about being scared like the first movie, where it's like, oh, death works in mysterious ways. Where it was less
I
about,
liked the first movie.
where it was less about being scared of death itself, and more or less just like, what kind of wacky tacky shit is death going to do now to just kill this single person?
Yeah, almost like the Saw movies. Every time they progressed, it just gets weirder and
I've
weirder.
actually never seen any of the Saw movies, and I've never been one for seeing them, mostly just because I do not like the traps.
Drop a comment if you want Cole to see Saw.
I'll only see the first one.
That's fine. That's fine.
I don't want to see Saw 2 or 3. You know what would make a fun video, though?
What?
If we played through the Saw 2 Xbox 360 game.
Yeah, that's a trip.
Have you played it?
I played it, yeah.
Oh, man.
It's not a good game.
It's not.
It's so glitchy. It's so bad.
It sounds terrible, but I want to try it
It's
out.
a cash-in game, right?
I almost bought it when I had an Xbox 360, mostly just because, like, I was like, oh, this looks stupid. I want this.
I got it from a friend, and he's like, dude, this is the best game ever. And I fired it up, and the first level, I'm like glitching through the floor. I'm like, what am I playing?
But yeah, so I guess back to Tucker and Dale. You kind of find out over time that like this one kid's just got like a hard on for killing people.
Yeah, because I guess it turns out that like his parents were the ones.
They were involved in the killing from that long time ago.
At least his father was anyway.
Well, his father died and his mom escaped, according to him. But like that's why he hates hillbillies. So as soon as his friend got taken, he just got like. Well, I mean, I guess it wasn't really a friend. He was like trying to like cop a feel at the beginning of the movie, and she wasn't having it.
Yeah, he was very aggressive.
He seemed very. He was like a very Patrick Bateman type of character, like that.
Not that far, but certainly like on the rigs.
And like the mannerisms of like being. He acted deranged the entire time.
He was almost over the top.
Yeah, it was like.
But I mean, I feel like that's the character that's supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be very aggressive, very in your face and everything.
He was almost cartoonishly evil.
He was, but the whole movie is cartoonish.
Yeah, I guess so.
I can say this, the whole movie was extremely predictable for me. But it made me laugh still.
Yeah,
that's important.
There were actually some well-written jokes in the movie.
Because, I mean, all the deaths, I'm like, oh, he's going to jump in the wood chipper. Oh, the plank is going to get him. I was saying it out loud. And
you were.
But I was still laughing once it happened because they still played it out very well.
Yeah.
So, that's what's important. If it can make me laugh or scare me, whatever, because it's a horror movie too.
Well, I mean, it wasn't really scary per se.
But it's a horror comedy. You know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
If it makes me laugh, then that's fine, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm there to do. I'm there to laugh. It's a horror comedy. That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
It wasn't a very deep film.
No, definitely not. I think this was just made for pure entertainment.
Which, it went a long way, even though it was predictable. It wasn't bad.
Yeah. As the movie goes on, you kind of find out, that the kid was actually, like, part hillbilly.
Yeah,
because he ends up going crazy, and he just kind of realizes that, like, what's-her-face likes Dale. So he's like, oh, I'm going to get back at the hillbillies, and he takes the girl to, like, an abandoned sawmill where the whole thing first happened. And Dale shows up in all this gear and stuff. He just looks like Tim the Toolman Taylor at that point. But he ends up saving her, and the guy is like half melted because their cabin blew up because he was trying to burn the cabin down. And then
with some hilarious makeup.
The makeup was not that good. And then Dale finds out. Dale looks at like a newspaper, and I don't know how he came to this conclusion. I think like maybe the dad was one of the hillbillies, or like.
Yeah, the dad was one of the hillbillies, and one of the killers, and so when he gets the newspaper and he reads it, and what's his face comes up, and he's like, look, you're half hillbilly.
And then he like freaked out, like the guy found out he just got like cancer.
Right.
And he was like,
it was
no,
the weirdest reveal
no,
ever.
it can't be. Ah! And then he falls out a window, Michael Myers style, and
Yeah.
supposedly dies.
It was almost an homage to Halloween, the way they did it too.
Yeah. And then obviously Dale gets the girl. Tucker got his fingers cut off, and there was a funny joke there where like he shows him his hand. Where he's like, "Oh, they reattached the fingers, and one of them's got like a long nail and it's painted." And he's like, "I don't remember this one looking the way that it did." So it's like they gave him some random lady's finger.
I would have loved to see the sequel to this. Supposedly the sequel is written and it's somewhere in the writer's garage. Because they wrote it,
that's sad.
But they didn't think it was good enough, so they just shelved it and said, "We can't do this. It sucks." It was supposed to be Tucker and Dale go to Yale.
So like, what, the girl goes back to college and they follow her or something?
I guess.
Would it have been just cool. Like a parody of like Animal House type movies?
Maybe. I could see that. And almost like
Tucker and Dale versus Evil was just a parody. It was a smart parody of horror films because it's not like it took the conventional horror concepts and turned them on its head.
Yeah.
Because you're not seeing this from the eyes of the victims of it. You're seeing it from the eyes of some random dudes who accidentally fell into the role of, villain.
Yeah. And the nice thing about this film was it didn't try to be a horror film that is a parody of other horror films. It just was a movie.
Yeah.
It was a movie first, and then it parodied horror films. Whereas when you get a horror film that parodies horror films,
you get something like Scary Movie.
Yeah, but you only want that when you're drunk and high, right?
Yeah.
Tucker and Dale is something you want when you want something good written, right?
Yeah.
Well written. And I can see, like, Tucker and Dale go to Yale. I can see that being, like, a smarter, not another teen movie type film.
Yeah.
But, not that lowbrow, but, smarter.
Yeah. Like, I could,
that
like,
kind of movie.
If we were talking about, like, a hypothetical Tucker and Dale go to Yale, I could see, like, the usual plot points from, like, things like, oh, the dean's pissing somebody off, is gonna destroy a house, or they need to raise funds for blank and blank, and, like, maybe, they go and they follow the girl to Yale because they get invited for a visit. That seems like a logical option.
Okay.
Like, they don't follow her to be with her. She goes, she goes, oh, I have so-and-so time now. You should come for a visit. Come a couple days early so you can, just kind of look around and stuff. There's stuff to do.
Yeah.
So then Tucker, Dale brings Tucker to Yale, where the girl goes. And, let's say they get caught up in Tucker kind of like strong arms Dale to go look at some of the frats. And they find like an Animal House type frat, like a shitty rundown place.
That, yeah. And
they kind of get mixed up in that.
Yeah, but it's almost like a fish out of water thing too, right?
Yeah, because Tucker went to community college. I would say Tucker went to like community college. He tried to be smart, but he couldn't do it. Dale's never been to college, hypothetically. A hypothetical movie. We'll say like Dale's never been to college. So Tucker's trying to strong arm him into having the college experience, and that's the major conflict of the movies, to get Dale the authentic college experience, because Tucker's talking this whole thing up as they're going there.
And you could probably get a lot of jokes in with Dale, because Dale is so awkward.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But he's also so smart too. Yeah. Because remember, he's got an eidetic memory. Mm-hmm. He just remembers everything that's told to him or that he reads. And that would probably be...
That could play into...
him trying to get the college experience, right?
Yeah.
He thinks that is the college experience, but Tucker's like, no, we gotta join a frat, man.
Yeah, and then you get that like dichotomy of like the college experience, and then you could play around with the, like the stuff like Animal House. You could play around with something like that, where like the frat has a problem and Tucker and Dale kind of get roped into trying to fix it.
Yeah, and especially it being, about, Yale is such a prestigious school, right?
Yeah.
And Dale and Tucker being at such a prestigious school,
it also emphasizes the fish out of water because they're both a bunch of backwater boys.
They're hicks.
Yeah.
They're hicks, and and the people at Yale, they're a bunch of preppy people. Super smart, super snotty,
super politically correct.
Yeah, super politically correct. And
so you could have a couple jokes with that too. You could have a couple politically correct jokes, but I feel like it would be hard to make this movie.
It would, but I would love to see it come out today because there's not any good comedies these days.
I mean, we could just ask the guy if we could have the script.
Hey,
we would have no budget, but we would try.
Hey, so writers of Tucker and Dale versus Evil, do you want to hand us over your Tucker and Dale Go to Yale script, and then we can all work on it together,
yeah.
And we can get this made, and we can release it for people. Do you know how many people would want to see this film? A lot.
We don't even know who has seen this movie.
I mean, it's on Netflix, so it's gotta be
oh, yeah,
a good cult following.
I'm sure.
So
I feel like Tucker and Dale Go to Yale would be it would be an entertaining thing if done right.
It would. So please, Eli Craig and Morgan Jurgensen, please let us do it. If you ever come across this podcast within like the next 60 years, we are.
I feel like it wouldn't even work in the next 60 years because you have to use the same actors for Tucker and Dale.
It's Tucker and Dale go to the nursing home. Who knows? I can see that.
Tucker and Dale deal with modern medicine.
Tucker and Dale for president.
Oh my god.
I can see all those different things. So please, Eli and Morgan, please contact us. If you ever, I'm gonna tweet at you guys.
Are you?
I'm gonna tweet at you guys. If you guys have Twitters, you can listen to our podcast and you can go like, these guys are amazing. Let's get them going.
Yeah, maybe we'll have maybe Slap Happy will take off and it'll make them think we're cooler.
Slap Happy is our film coming soon.
Yes,
these
hopefully
people don't know that.
Soon.
And maybe
weren't we gonna do a podcast on it once it was off?
Yeah, we probably should. We probably should do a podcast on Slap Happy. We also got to do a podcast on The Forgotten Melody with.
How can you do a podcast on a movie that's 18 minutes?
Hey man.
Normally our movies that we talk about takes us like anywhere from I don't even know. It just depends on
like 30 in an hour.
Yeah. If it's exceptionally bad, it takes us 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we just talk about Carrie for the rest of the movie.
And then if it's exceptionally good, I think The Hateful Eight was like, what, an hour and 10 minutes we had a podcast for?
Yeah, something like that. They fluctuate.
They do. But yeah, I think we've covered Tucker and Dale.
We're creeping up on 25 minutes.
Wow. What were we just saying about good movies and how long their podcasts are?
I know, right?
I guess
I feel like the movie has. It's interesting because the movie's good. It's not like the movie's bad.
It's not bad. It's well shot. It's well directed. I mean, for comedy, it has to be well directed, right?
Yeah, it also
and it's well acted to sell the jokes,
and it's well written too.
And yeah, it's well written, despite it being predictable. The payoffs are still there. The setups and payoffs are still very well done.
I think it's just because the movie is very surface level. You know, like the movie doesn't waste its time trying to push deeper themes.
It doesn't. I mean, the movie's not even 90 minutes. It just kind of throws you in there.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes the movie enjoyable because everybody wants to. Like when it comes down to themes, I don't give a shit about themes unless the movie is really like centered around them. Like I Am Mother.
Right, like if the movie is there to give you themes, then I want strong themes. I mean, you know me. We've talked, and I think every film should have a message. Comedy's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Comedy's there to make you laugh.
Yeah.
It's not there to push a message. I mean, you could say what you want about these comedies these days, but altogether, comedy is there to make you laugh, right?
Yeah.
So themes aren't necessarily number one on the list for comedies for me. I just want to laugh. Whether it be smart or poor, I just want to laugh. I don't care how it's done, just tickle my funny bone.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I enjoy, like, Tucker and Dale was a good movie to just sit down and watch. Because I don't have to give a shit about what's going on outside.
Right, we just got to sit down and enjoy it, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing that makes it a good movie, is because we got to see a funny premise with funny characters do funny things, and I didn't have to worry, and it didn't, like, strong-arm me into talking about why I need to fucking, why I need to, like...
Yes, Cole?
Sorry, I, like, stopped myself because I said the F word.
Nice stopping yourself after you said it.
I know, I said it, and then I was like, oh, shit. I'm like, oh,
Let
no.
me curse more because I cursed.
I'm like, no, I can't, I'm not supposed to say this. And
Well,
then,
it's gone now.
oh, wow.
Go ahead and talk. It's gone now.
All right. Well, it's not trying to force me into telling me to, like, plant a tree or something, you know?
This one's telling you to chop up that tree and the person building the tree. Building the tree?
Yeah, you know, people
we all
build
trees.
trees.
You know, trees
Dude,
are just made by the government so that
they
we
can
are
spy on us.
Yes, they can spy on us.
All the leaves are facial recognition cameras.
They are big government,
Birds,
big trees,
birds
man.
are not real. There's no such thing as a bird.
You know, there's a website that's birdsarenotreal.com.
Yeah. The people are like flat Earth type stuff. People who like think that NASA uses fisheye lenses to prove that the Earth is round.
You know, that reminds me.
And then somebody goes, well, if you want to get it, we can take you to NASA right now and put you in a rocket ship. And he's like, I don't trust that. I'll go. Like, then how are you gonna know?
I mean, it's like the people that think Stanley Kubrick faked the moon landing. And he admitted it in The Shining.
He admitted it in The Shining. Oh my
lord. So, maybe we should do a podcast on room 239 eventually.
239? Don't you mean 238?
237. Yeah, room 237.
I thought it was called room 238.
No,
I know that the room in the movie is 237.
Yeah, but it is in the movie. And the movie is called room 237. And it's a crappy movie. Cole just watched The Shining.
I did. Are we gonna put The Shining in this now too?
Might as well just give your quick thoughts since we brought it up.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a good movie. I liked the set design. I liked the characters. You can tell that there's certain scenes where they're on like take 250.
Yeah. Our boy Kubrick loved his
the way that Jack Nicholson delivers some of the lines is a little strange sometimes. Because it's like but you spend the whole movie wondering if he's crazy or if the hotel is haunted itself.
Yeah.
Especially with like the picture at the end that nobody seems to understand.
Yeah, that's been a debate amongst the Shining fans ever since it came out in the 80s.
Speaking of which, on the day that this podcast is recorded, Jake and I are going to go see Dr. Sleep tomorrow.
I don't know if you guys heard that, but that was a really loud noise.
Yeah, it sounded like...
After we mentioned the Dr. Sleep.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Do you think that they're going to put like the in the soundtrack?
I really hope so. I actually really like that.
It was just a sine wave,
I know you did. I know you didn't like it, but it made it eerie.
It made it eerie. It made it That's what it fucking made it.
I know when they did that when Scatman was on his bed and his eyes kept lighting you like you cool bro?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like that song. But yeah, we're gonna see Dr. Sleep tomorrow. Maybe we'll do a podcast. Maybe we won't. Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe we'll just do like a short podcast or something.
Maybe we'll just throw it in like we did The Shining in this one. Who knows? I think we've exhausted Tucker and Dale though. We're talking about The Shining and now the Dr. Sleep. So
yeah.
But maybe we should sign off before we get too far into more conspiracies like trees.
Oh yeah. Do you know that the world's flat?
Dude, this soda tastes like Earth.
Soda tastes like Earth?
Flats.
ha ha. All right. Well, I've been Cole.
And I've been Jake. Wait, we didn't tell him what to watch.
Oh shoot, you're right. We're gonna watch after this podcast is done recording. Jake and I are gonna watch Annihilation.
Yes, Annihilation with Natalie Portman. It is on Hulu. Watch it. It is. You know what? I'll save it for the podcast. Just watch it on Hulu. Annihilation, directed by Alex Garland.
Or you can rent it somewhere.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, it's like what, $3?
Probably more like 4.
Yeah, that's how much.
Then be greedy these days.
Yeah.
All right, it's been good talking to you people and not listening because you guys can't talk back. So, I've been Jake.
I've been Cole.
And this has been the Cake and Batter Podcast. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to Disney Plus and continue the monopoly.
Go die.